realized I loaded the wrong Avengers film. I put the parody on. And after that, I'm no longer allowed to stream movies from my computer to the TV.
How long did it take her to figure out Iron Man wasn't wearing a codpiece?
Keep going, man. Just tell us the rest of the scenario.
So let's just say Thanksgiving has been awkward ever since.
Or steamier ever since.
Yeah.
Anyway, good evening, all you beautiful collectors. Welcome to another episode of Figure Action. My name is Matt Partsformer. I will be the host for this evening. Sorry about your luck. Joining me tonight, we have Mr. Joe Crab. Say hello, Joe.
Hello.
You forgot the Joe part.
Hello, Joe.
There you go.
That went well. We have TMan 978.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
We're going to get that man a better internet. We have True Starscreamer and Company.
What's up? What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Hi.
And we have Extra Zero.
Well, hey there, everybody. My buddy Matthew Deluxe Baldwin would say.
How are you guys doing this evening? Anybody?
Well, I'm doing fantastic.
Everyone at once.
I mean,
they're all doing great. We're off to a great start. So let's jump right in.
I'm being domestic.
Domestic?
Yes.
True Starscreamer, what did you get this week?
This week,
a small child.
Kind of a slim week, but still pretty cool. I got one of a figure I've been greatly anticipating, which is the Revoltech Carnage figure. And I will tell you, this thing lives up to the complete hype train. I mean, just you can see the pose I've got him in. If you've been sitting on Revoltechs, this is the figure to get. I'm not a fan of the thighs, but everything else is amazing. He's got ports all over, so you can plug in all kinds of weapons and tentacles and spears and blades. Other hands, if you want to have just hands sticking out of his chest, you can do so.
So does it pose naturally, easily, or is it a nightmare to pose like some Revoltechs?
It's for the natural pose. It's the nightmare. I'll be flat out to say that. But it's Carnage, and when has he ever stood naturally?
That's a good point.
Good point.
It's like him and the Venom, I have to say, are two of the most kinetic figures I've seen of just wanting to look like a figure always in motion. And the other thing I got was a Steadicam. No, was if you saw this on my Instagram and on the groups, these Red Hood pistols. I got these from John Walker Customs. These are some samples. He's going to be putting them out later this year. And I did paint these myself. So if you go on the Instagram, I kind of showed the before, the primed, and done. And these look awesome in all the figures. So
very nice.
That is my haul this week. I'm going to step away for a second, get this little one to bed, but I shall return.
We'll miss you.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Zero, what'd you get this week?
So I got some cool stuff for anybody doing the waffles. If you're in that Facebook group, I won the one raffle that I wasn't really anticipating, nor did I care about, and I ended up getting this little deluxe size 6-shot from my friend Robert D's favorite company, Mech Fans Toys. Which it's not terrible. It's an Iron Factory knockoff, but the plastic quality is really good. The paint's really good. There's some oddities with it. Like there's little cannon pieces that only plug in on the inside of the feet and nowhere else. So it's only good for the tank mode and the gun mode. And there's no way to store them otherwise. So I just keep them in the box. And then it also, for whatever reason, comes with one of the little Diaclone power armor suits. But it's pretty cool. If I were to start a Legends collection, I think he'd be too big. So he's probably just going to be a desk spot. at my office. I also got Figuarts Sakura, which I really, really, really like. She's probably one of my favorite Street Fighter Figuarts now, and she's a character I main in Street Fighter 4, so it's cool to have her. She's super posable, and I love the way they did her chucks. Like they got a full ankle tilt, toe tilt, back and forth rocker. Really, really cool stuff. She's a lot of fun. I wish she came with more effects pieces and more hands. She only comes with.
That's what I was going to ask you. What does she come with?
Yeah, she only comes with one extra pair of like open hands, and she comes like kind of like her Hadouken hands. She comes with a fireball effect to stand for it, and that's all she wrote. But still, I mean, she's really well done. The paint on her is pretty crisp. Although one of my hands has a paint defect, which is a bummer. I might see if I can get that swapped out. What else did I get? I got a figure that's been on my short list forever, which is DX9 Carry. He was recently reissued. Like this figure. Mine has a couple QC issues. It has a bad foot, and there's a little paint defect on the face, but GCI is getting me sorted out there, so not the end of the world. It's not. I wouldn't call this one of my completely defective figures, but you know, the foot is just a minor issue. It's like the it doesn't bend in all the way, like the plastic's marred. But again, it's an easy fix, and it doesn't deter from being able to display the figure all the way. He just can't stand up straight. But he's fun to transform. I'm glad I have him. He's going to go on my Prime shelf, and his Rodimus Prime. What else did I get? I got I got the this was a late purchase. The first 10 years Iron Man. He was on sale at Target, and I dig him. He goes with the Hulkbuster I got, even though he's from a different movie. But I like that he's like the same aesthetic, same paint. So I'll have those two displayed together. And I also got a Legion class Starscream that I dropped, and I'm not going to fish for, but he was 98 cents at Target. So that, I think, wraps me up for the week. Yeah, that wraps me up for the week.
I don't think I would know one Iron Man armor from the next. Like, I'm a big fan of the character, and I know there are people out there that are like serious about their armor collections, but I wouldn't know the Mark 50 from whatever other.
The Mark 50. The Mark 50 is like the easiest one because that's the one he had in Infinity War, like the really organic looking one.
And that's why I remembered it.
Yeah. Like I remember the Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 50, and that's about it. Do you have a favorite one? Like I mean, even if you can't name the number.
I thought aesthetically looking, it was cool with the briefcase one. Although
that's mine. One. Yeah, the silver and red. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was a cool design, but I don't know, and I don't know all the nanotech stuff, the firearms and whatnot that he used in Infinity War was cool. It's just I don't know, man. Like I'm watching it and I'm thinking, is this getting like maybe a little cheaty here? I mean.
Yes.
He's almost becoming Green Lantern.
Almost.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle's pretty accurate.
Blue Beetle. So
I like the very first one. The very first one was very believable. It's like, okay, I could see like a really smart dude with access to all these materials actually being able to build this. But that organic nano technology was just way too far out there.
Now, weird question before we go off on a tangent. You think the Dark Knight trilogy had anything to do with the influence of that? Because Iron Man came out in 2008, and at the time, like, you know, the Dark Knight trilogy comes out, and like the big thing about it, it was like Batman that could actually happen. Like at least the Batman Begins was like portrayed as like Batman that could actually happen. So like when they did Iron Man, they kind of portrayed it as grounded and like something like maybe that could happen.
It could have been.
I think that's what saved the entire MCU. I think they got started on the right foot because they started that way, and they earned where they are now with the they can get away with the crazy stuff now because they started somewhere grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
It's easier to suspend your disbelief.
Because we've seen where they come from. I think you're right. I think that probably does have something to do with it. But let's see, moving on. Mr. Joe.
Hey, what's going on? I had a good week actually. I did get my Master Roshi,
Yeah.
Figure Arts Master Roshi finally, and I got another Goku, 2 of 3.
Still waiting on mine.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Well, mine's coming from Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. That's just they're tough with the figure arts. This one is one that I ordered from Amazon, the SH Figure Arts Superman, which I think is from. I'm not sure if this is actually from Justice League or if it's from. I think it's from Justice League.
It doesn't say on there?
It doesn't actually say it on the box.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it does say on the back here, Justice League. But it just took forever for it to actually finally ship, and this is one I was actually a little kind of disappointed with. But I think my one I'm most excited about, which I actually have not opened yet, is Ray from Evangelion.
Ooh.
Which
Oh, I
Mr.
didn't know about
Partsformer
that.
has, he has turned me on to this show, and I immediately ordered this figure. So thank you for exposing me to another one of the rabbit holes that I've been avoiding.
You have to expose me to that plastic there later. I didn't know you ordered
Yes.
that. I'll have to see how that goes.
Yes. And I'll show you this figure too.
Ooh.
But that's it for me for the week. Actually, no.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Got my effects pieces too.
Nice.
Nice box of assorted effects, some energy effects, and some explosions.
Very nice. For anybody
Yeah.
that's listening live right now, Big Bad had those effects for $8 something a piece. So check it out now and see if you guys are interested, because I just ordered some because I'm a cheap bastard, but that was within my threshold for an instant purchase. But let's see, Mr. TMan.
Hello, everyone. What did I get this week? I honestly don't think I got anything.
Speak up, TMan.
Yeah.
The Yellow Ranger.
We can't hear you at all, buddy.
Louder, TMan.
You can't hear me?
Now there you are.
There you go.
I said I got this little, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Dorbs Yellow Ranger. It was in a blind bag. And Nate Simmons sent this to me. Marvel Legends Silver Surfer. Can y'all still not hear me?
No, we hear you.
Yeah.
Oh. And I don't know.
And how is
I
it?
didn't get any. So far, I literally just opened it. It's alright. I see some little imperfections as far as the paint, but it's good. He's not falling apart, which I like. But, other than that, I'm about to be reviewing a bunch of old toys I've had for months and haven't reviewed. I didn't buy nothing. No, thank you.
I mean,
Simmons.
you got this coming.
What's that? Oh yeah.
I won't break out into song again.
Spoilers for next week.
Yeah, spoilers.
Not a question for Zero, but that's Sakura SH Figure Arts. Is her Hadouken smaller than Ryu?
No, it's bigger actually. It's since I know you have Ryu, it's a pretty large piece.
That looks like the one for Storm Collectibles.
Yeah, it almost does actually. It's it is a fairly substantially sized Hadouken piece. So I'd have to get Ryu out.
Was she able to do the Senku Hadouken?
I can't remember. It's been a while since I played a Street Fighter. I've been playing Street Fighter 2 more than any other Street Fighter, mostly because when Ultra Street Fighter 2 came out on the Switch, I kind of readopted that.
I still want to get the 30th anniversary collection.
Dude, it's amazing. It is really cool. It'll be on sale, and I'd say definitely get it then. But it's there's no reason not to have that. But yeah, I can't remember whether she could do the Shenku. If anybody out there knows, throw it in the comments. That or I could Google it.
When I used to play Street Fighter Alpha, she was one of my favorite characters.
We're going over
people that used to do the moves like you.
T, you got to move closer to the I don't know, screwed up man or something. Every time you lean back, you get comfortable. We can't hear you anymore.
You get like censored. I mean, whatever you're saying must be like horrible.
And Nate Simmons says she can't do it.
My mic must not really be connected.
You might be
Yeah, I
coming
think
through the
you're-
the native speaker.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear
There
you.
you go.
Yeah.
Now you
All
go.
right.
Oh yeah,
Good.
it's because I had this dongle thing on.
Oh,
You and your dongle. Get your dongle out of there.
Quit playing
That
with
might
your
have been my
dongle.
problem last week.
God dang it, T-Man. Quit playing with your dongle. I'll tell you what.
I got on the right shirt for that.
That's the boy been
Are you the one
whacking
that's
in my
been
trailer.
So that's all wrap up for you, T-Man. You're out of new figures to talk about. You're going to go back to the past on some reviews and
Yeah.
You got to do like a
Let's do
Samurai
it.
Jack homage. Got back to the past.
It's going to be
Well,
a
I guess
bunch of Decepticons in the future.
I guess that just leaves me. So I give Mr. Joe here got this for me, which is a crossover Pikachu riding a Nimbus cloud dressed as Goku with his power pole.
That's awesome.
And there's a crossover I never thought I'd ever see.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from, Joe?
That came from eBay. I actually picked one up for
A
myself
marketing
too, but I haven't.
genius.
Yeah, I was just randomly on eBay and I saw that and I was like, I know somebody who would love that.
And he thought of me. Isn't that nice?
I got to keep them buttered up.
I just imagine like the bass line from Taking My Breath Away coming in.
Actually, I was just playing. No. So, in GameStop, I picked up I seem to be the only one I ever hear about collecting these. So no one ever talks about them, but I get the Star Wars like titanium figures, the ships. And since the titanium line no longer, I guess they're defunct now, I get the Hot Wheels Star Wars ships. So they have their original concepts line, which is based on the old designs of the ships. So I picked up the X-Wing. And what's interesting about this is that when the S-foils close, the wings close, it actually goes back to a silhouette for a fully attack positioned X-Wing from the modern era. They don't close all the way. But then when it's in attack mode, it actually does look like an X. And they fold up and they actually crisscross across the cockpit. I don't know. It's kind of cool looking.
So, in other words, X going to give it to you.
And I have...
The joke was so bad.
Really clever. And nothing came to me. Yeah, bad jokes. You want to hear a bad joke? No, I also caved and picked up Infinity War. And interesting thing about Infinity War was I got the Blu-ray, and I thought it would be difficult to play it because I opened up my Blu-ray, I put the Blu-ray disc in, and I hit play. I thought it would be hard, but you know what? It was a snap.
It's always difficult when you think it's going to be hard and it's not.
Nope.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Think of it. Oh, I got one more thing. I
went for the snap joke, and it fell flat.
I got Deadpool 2.
I don't
Is
feel
Kira
so
officially
good.
gone?
No.
Yes.
Is Kira in the bed?
Yes.
Good.
And we should also mention that Adrian is with us in spirit. He's actually the Bastards in Tokyo right now, having fun.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what he finds in Tokyo.
Oh, me too.
And how he gets it home.
You know, we'll see. He should be taking some pictures, I hope, and taking in the sights. He said he'd try to film inside some toy shops or collectible shops over there. So we'll see what turns up there. Or he might not do any of that and just enjoy himself and have fun, and that's okay too.
That's not okay. I want pictures.
Yeah.
I think we'll get pictures.
I want pictures and I don't. I'll be looking like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
But he
And then
might
we'll be
throw
like,
in
hey,
some
could you
pictures
pick it
that
up
we
for
don't
us?
want to see in between there, so who knows?
I want to see if he can find like any of those weird vending machines.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that he would. And knowing the man the way I do, I'm thinking he's probably looking for them right now.
He has to be.
Yeah.
He's on the hunt.
You haven't played
And
Yakuza, have you?
I have not, but I need to. I was tempted to get Shenmue, because they have the HD collection now.
Also a great game, but there's a mini game in Yakuza where you're trying to get a magazine out of a vending machine for a young boy.
Oh boy,
it's hilarious. That game is wonderfully raw. I love it.
I'm hoping he comes back the week that he's back on the show. That his haul will be just one obscure vending machine item after the next. You know. Anywho, yes. There doesn't seem to be, and maybe not a whole lot of news that we're going to talk about per se. We got a couple of notes here and there. Let's skip the first one. We'll go back to it. Let's talk about the new pictures from the magazine scan of Masterpiece Optimus Prime version 3. What do you guys think of that? Our updated pictures.
I hope Kara had a scholarship.
Looks awesome. Like, did you see how the knees look when you bend the knees? Like, it almost looked like they went back to MPO1 with that amount of detail. And the butterfly joints on the shoulders and ab crunch. Oh.
God, T, keep it in your pants, man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think he wants to.
I'm looking forward to it. The one thing that I'm not excited about is the electronics. You know, aside from the price, you know, I think that's probably the one thing we can all agree on that we're not excited about is the price. And they haven't even said what it's going to cost yet, but we know. I'm
thinking 300, over 300.
I got 300. Do I hear another bid? Can I get another bid?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the same as Dinobot because. So here's the thing: like Optimus Prime is like your character that he's gonna sell across the board. You know, let's
hijack him.
Well, no. Like that's the thing. Like a character like Goku, a character like Batman. You know, those are characters like they can sell a SH Figuarts Batman with a shit ton of accessories for, you know, less than they could sell like Deadshot or say like Two-Face. You know,
Two-Face,
he's a well-known character, and in order to get like the market penetration, like here's the deal. It's like a lot of people slept on. Well, a lot of people slept on MP10, right? When he first came out, people couldn't find him because Toys R Us's distribution was shit. And they didn't really feel, at the time, a lot of people weren't too keen on, you know, getting toys imported from the internet. That was a fact of life. You know, you wanted to be able to walk into a brick and mortar store and find it. And then when people warmed up to online shopping, you couldn't get a regular Masterpiece Optimus from a lot of retailers. So look at how many people have that Year of the Horse or had the Year of the Horse Optimus as their Optimus for a long period of time. So, you know, they kind of know that this is a character that they're gonna sell a ton of them. And if you're putting them up there for $250 or $300, you're not going to sell that many of them. And there are a lot of people that will start a Masterpiece collection because they can get an Optimus. You know.
I agree. An argument against the high price.
That's my argument
because, you mentioned Goku, and he's a perfect example because the Saiyan Raised on Earth was $35 and meant to be the draw as to an entry level figure. You know, so would you not think that maybe? And I don't know, I have no idea, but wouldn't you not consider that maybe they wouldn't have an astronomical price on him? Because I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, you know, they would be super smart to get him somewhere between $220.
Yeah.
And that
would be nice.
It hurts though that they just did an MP10 that's still retailed for $150. I mean, is it going to be enough to? Are they actually cramming another $100 worth of awesome into it?
And looking from the pictures, I don't think so. I mean, it looks great, but I don't know if it's $100 more.
No, it looks like it's going to have more engineering, but is it going to have $100 more engineering? Probably
more
not.
engineering and lights or sounds in his back.
Yeah, it's gonna have the sound.
He only comes with the trailer, right? Is that going to add a lot of cost to it? Just having that option of Prime with the trailer?
Well, again, MP10 with the trailer was $150.
Yeah.
Well, I think wasn't the Japanese version always like $200?
It depended on your retailer. Right, because you know BBTS, they jack up the prices.
I got one still in box I bought for 130 from them.
Yeah. And when he was when the Hasbro version hit, he was 200. Now, keep in mind that Prowl is coming through Diamond Select, so maybe they'll do one. They'll do a distribution through Diamond for him, and that'll lower the price. Maybe.
I watched an interview with Hasbro where they said that what their plan is for Masterpiece is going to be using the Takar packaging with like a slip cover over top of it. They haven't said anything official, but in one of those SDCC interviews, they did say that.
So I won either a carrier or transistor right now.
Did they run it?
They just ran it.
Did you? All right.
I was going to enter in on that, but zero
Transistor.
luck. Look at that.
Get a
Zero luck
transistor.
goes both ways.
I know.
Well, anyway, I think the price of the Prime is going to probably tell us where they're going. If they price it towards the low end to get people into it, then it's going to be kind of like, hey, we're doing a good thing for the collectors. And if they price it over 300, it just tells us that the figures are going to settle. I mean, they'll level out, but the pricing is just that's where the pricing's going, and that's where it's going to be. Your smaller figures will probably, whether you like it or not, they'll probably hover around that as the ceiling. Maybe 250 to the 300, or maybe 225 to the 300 range.
And you guys are talking about BBTS jacking up prices. I'm a cheap bastard, and I want other people to save money too. So I think Zero and T and some of you guys have used this before and turned me onto it as well. Is that you guys need to pay, anybody listening, make sure you pay attention to Amazon Japan.
Yep.
And try to get your pre-orders through there, because you will save a ton of money. Like for instance, right now, I think most of us on this call have Beast Wars Megatron on pre-order through them. And when we jumped on it, and it's currently now for us, what's it running for us right now? About 220, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
220 shipped, mind you, from Japan, and we'll get it probably with the first wave, early on.
You mean Megatron? You said Dinobot.
Did I?
Yeah,
I was thinking Dinosaur, and I'm holding Grimlock, so brain. Yeah. Sorry, Megatron. Where I guess, what is he retailing now for pre-order? Anybody know? On
320, I think, with the ETF, not including shipping.
So that's $100. $100 savings right there, just for shopping around. So that's our PSA to anybody out there that wants to try to save.
And you'll get it way faster than BBTS.
Yeah.
Right. You'll be, like I said, you'll get it first probably, with all the others. So that means you get to find out all the defects right firsthand. just to brighten up your day.
After Kevin Liu. That's his name, right? He gets everything first.
Who's that? I don't know that.
He's like a reviewer. He gets a lot of third party and other figures before everybody. He had Predaking before everybody. Okay. He had what's his name? Toro. He got everything before everybody. The only negative is I can't understand what he's talking about, and he'll be in a live stream for an hour, moving the toy around, and I don't know what he's talking about.
But don't go to his live stream. Wait for TMan's review. TMan will bring you the quality review.
Yeah.
See, I got you.
I need that guy from New York with the big white beard and white hair. Too damn high. These prices are too damn high.
Santa Claus.
That's
No. What was his name?
New York?
The original
The
rent
rent
was
is too high.
Yeah.
So that's
Anyway.
your MP Prime update. Yeah. I don't know, like, even if they have electronics on it, I guess if it's got it looks like it has a speaker in the back. I'm guessing it'll be probably Japanese sound effects like we got with Megatron. But then a month later, 2 months. But then we got the the KO or the third party add-on kit that replaced that with our homeboys.
If they're smart, they paid attention to that, and they'll give us the English voice. If they're smart,
yep. You would think
they know Americans buy that. And if Hasbro, I don't see why Hasbro wouldn't bring Optimus Prime out.
Yeah,
come on.
And I will say, a sound chip with Peter Cullen, I'll justify another $25-$35 for that.
And you'll help cover mine for that extra money.
No,
How
I'm
much
just
pressure?
saying.
How much pressure do you think that they're under? With the KOs, coming out so fast after the official to get the price down.
Sometimes the KOs are out before the official.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they're under.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I think they're under immense pressure because you have a market that is refusing to buy from them because their prices are too high. But at the same time, their justification for their prices being high is the unofficial market. So it's really weird. I can't think of any other company that deals with anything like that. So it's like, on one hand,
KFC.
Well, how does KFC deal with that?
They put those Stunnicons out at a really cheap price.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. But what was funny was that knockoff that they got, it was something that nobody wanted. It was a sideswipe that didn't even resemble sideswipe.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It is kind of like the same principle because it was still a Lamborghini and it was their design and everything. But yeah, that was but I think KFC had the appropriate response. They penetrated a market with that Stunnicon for $40, and it was the size and quality of an MP car. And now people that have that are like, I want to complete this Stunnicon team.
I was saying that's what Hasbro needs to do.
That's exactly what they and Takara need to do. And I think, that's why I was saying, like, that Prime, it's a good opportunity for them to sell low, dude, get people interested in official Masterpiece. Because, you have companies like Magic Square. I think Magic Square is doing a full size, but you have other companies that are doing a more tune-accurate Prime, more tune-aesthetic Prime. And then, for a lot of people, they're selling off their MP10s, and this is an opportunity for people to get a Masterpiece Optimus at a cheap rate. So when you have these other options available, why come out with something that's extremely high priced on the market when it's not the definitive option per se?
I hope they're listening to you right now because those are good ideas.
I think they are. I'm pretty sure.
If Hasbro is like one of our 110 subscribers.
Hasbro, if you're in the room, give us a like right now. Come on.
Yes, do it.
Smash that like button.
All y'all in the chat, give us a like, just for the hell of it. Just because, what the hell?
Speaking of that, I need to give us a like.
Yeah, I do too.
Our own hosts in the room, give us a like.
Oh yeah, I forgot we could do that.
Jesus. All right. Anyway, MP Prime coming soon. So who we have on the horizon? We've got Beast Wars Megatron coming up. We've got version 3 Prime. We know we've got Hound. Who else do we have that we know of?
Well, technically, we've got the Anime Colors Prowl, if you want to count him.
Right.
Are we talking about
Colors? Yeah. How about new molds?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's for right now.
I'm
Anything
excited
else
about
would just
Hound.
be a
Personally.
rumor.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that Hound. Hound's always been one of my favorite characters, so I'm happy about that.
And I like the fact that Hound has the self-contained missile launcher, kind of like the Bad Cube, Red Alert, and so yeah, I love that. I like when the weapons are part of the transformation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I do too, unless it's a mess.
Yeah, it's got to be handled right, and they can't be like a flimsy, like undersized disaster either.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be halfway decent, and with some, you got to give a little bit, knowing that it packs away. But even so, as long as it looks good.
Yeah, Nate Simmons brings up a good point. We've got some Fans Toy stuff on the horizon too, and
Bandai.
Yeah, I think everything but Blitzwing. What's coming out from Bandai, Dave?
Soul of Chogokin Titanus.
Yes.
It was mentioned in the chat room, but I definitely got to mention it here as well. And I have no place in my house for that.
Are you in on it?
Yeah, you do, Dave.
Hey, look, I just got BBTS is shipping theirs out. Oh, and hey, Zera,
Hey. MMC, if you're listening, please reissue that figure because it's the one I need the most.
For those listening to the audio, they're actually just whispering sweet nothings at each other.
But yeah, no, my BBTS is shipping out their Dragon Zord shortly. And speaking of Power Rangers, Hasbro put out the White Ranger.
Man. You know
How
what?
do you think that looks?
For a $20 figure, that looks amazing.
Having just bought the Soul of Chigoku, I'm not the Soul of Chigoku, the SH Figuarts Red and Green Rangers. Had I seen that before I had them on the way, I would have reconsidered. Because the digital paint, it looks just like Jason David Frank, like hands down.
If you have not seen the demo video that Hasbro put out of them making the White Ranger figure, I absolutely suggest finding that YouTube video.
Yes.
They're putting more love into this than not only Marvel Legends, but also the Star Wars line, I think. I mean, they are taking a lot, that Legacy line that was, I'm sorry, I never was a fan of the Legacy, and just basically saying, hey, Bandai, this is...
I think we lost him. But it's great because if you're watching this, it's just like him, pause. Like, yeah, middle fingers, like dramatic pause. There he is.
He disappeared like Spider-Man.
Oh dang! I didn't realize I froze.
Yeah, you froze like right on two middle fingers. It was amazing. But no, I agree with you.
You have a thumbnail.
Yeah, it is a big FU to not Bandai itself, but Bandai USA.
Yes,
and,
Bandai USA.
You know the I like Mighty Morphin. You know, because that was the one that was on when I was a kid. And resonates with me the most. And you know, I was always interested in it mildly, but there were certain things that they did, like they made the Zords without articulation, and that's where Soul Chigoku kind of comes in and ticks those boxes. And you know, of course, they greatly they compromised their Zords by building the Zord builder.
Oh my god! That killed the what they called it, the Super Mega Force Ranger.
Yeah.
Which was the Go Kiger one. That killed that entire line. That was one of the best figures Bandai Japan had put out, and Bandai America killed that one.
Yeah, it's a shame too. And you know, I mean, what adult collector is going to go, I want to combine Zords from different time periods, and you know, cool play pattern and all, but you know, you're trying to replicate something from, you know, a childhood, and then you're hindering it with unnecessary parts and pieces to add on additional parts and pieces to make it function correctly. You know, that never got me. However, like the Legacy props, like the Dragon Dagger and the helmet, those things were all...
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah. But Hasbro's Marvel Legends roleplay things, like the helmets and the shield and Mjolnir, even the Tesseract, they're all really high quality. So I'm willing to bet they'll pick it up with the Legacy line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still want to have the sword, the Gold Ranger staff, and those look awesome in my room.
Have you ever messed with like the Saba, like the one that Bandai did?
No, I did not.
It is I can't remember who had it. But it's insane. It's like, I can't believe that was sold in stores. I mean, it's practically a damn sword. I mean, it's heavy.
Hey, you know who really appreciates those though? More than anybody else?
Who's that?
Jason David Frank charges $40 a signature on those suckers.
Oh, Jesus. I would have him sign
Did
Jesus.
You see Austin St. John? Austin St. John has a website where he sells signature on it. Like Power Ranger memorabilia.
Well, I mean, I would assume so. I mean, all he's ever had is Power Rangers and martial arts. So
he was a firefighter for a number of years, actually.
He was? Oh,
yeah. That's when he got out. When he got out of acting, he was a full first responder.
Oh, well, respect to that. Right on.
Right on.
Also in the chat room was also mentioned Soul of Chogokin Evangelion has been announced. Apparently.
Now, didn't they have Soul Chogokin Avas before? Now, keep in mind, the thing to know about SOC is that they're all in scale with one another. So they're not going to be this big. They're going to be like, Avas are going to be like that compared to, they're going to be like probably 6-inch figures, maybe 8-inch
that's
figures.
even better.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm cool with that.
They keep them in scale across lines?
Yeah, anybody that knows Kuma style, he was the one that explained it to me, because I was making a statement one day. I was like, in another chat, I was saying, I'd really like it if they did SOC. Anybody that's ever played Zone of the Enders, they have Anubis and Jehudi. They're the two main suits in Second Runner. I think they're in the first Zone of the Enders. Anubis was the protagonist or the antagonist.
Play those.
It's actually coming out. They're doing HD. It's coming out in a couple weeks. Zone of the Enders Second Runner HD, and if it is anything like the original release, it will include it basically the first game is garbage. Don't play it, but it takes all the cutscenes and it edits into a movie, so you can watch it and be completely up to speed with the second game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but TJ was telling me that if they made them, they'd be this big. So he's like, there's no point in doing SOC for those two mechs. But yeah, that's when I got the Big O, I was kind of, I was like, man, this thing's kind of small. And TJ explained to me, no, it's actually, yeah, I know. I set myself up for that. Yeah, he said that it's actually in scale. It's how big it would be compared to the other figures in that line, which I think is kind of awesome, because if you're trying to build a really cool mech display, everything's relevant to one another.
They're doing all the work for you.
Basically, yeah.
That makes me want to do that Ready Player One collection a lot more.
Yeah.
Mazinger and
I want an Iron Giant. I never could get the Mondo one, the one that made Brad Bird cry. And
They're coming out with a new Iron Giant, right?
Yeah, the Riobot, and it's it's $150, but it's a 6-inch figure, so fuck that.
Oh.
So Ready Player One, they had the Iron Giant in there, which, sidebar, I have never seen the Iron Giant movie. I should, but I've never seen it.
You need to.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to watch for your son.
I know. I need to watch it. But the Blue Lion, for anybody that hasn't seen it, is in the battle scene at the end of the movie. And is anybody else pissed off that that's the movie debut of Voltron is one line in a battle scene and that they do nothing with it and we don't see anything else of it for the rest of the movie?
Well, when your friends don't sign on to help you form Voltron,
the same thing happened in the book.
All 5 lions are in the book, though, just so you know. They do have all 5 lions.
Yeah, for a split second before they're spoiler.
I need to watch that movie then. Yes, I haven't seen it. I need to watch that now.
But then again, in the book, it wasn't Iron Giant, it was Ultraman.
T, you should watch that. You should watch that movie. It's a good movie. It's got problems, but I
want to.
Okay. We won't speak any more about it until you guys see it.
I know it's been out for a while. I have no excuse other than the fact I just didn't get around to it.
But anywho, T, I think you added this note to the file where you wanted to talk about Studio Series Bumblebee and the add-on kit, I guess, that they're doing with it. Explain.
Well, yeah, I did. This is interesting. They're coming out with a new Studio Series Bumblebee. It looks just like the first Studio Series #1 Bumblebee, but it comes with a little Charlie figurine from the Bumblebee movie, the female, and it's a whole bunch of tuner kit for when he becomes. I mean, you could pretend that she's tuning him up to make him a big modded out car, and it also has a sticker sheet, so you can put all types of stickers on it, and I've never seen anything like that from Hasbro officially.
And since the joints pop off so easily, you can get stickers on all the sides.
Right.
Hey, do you know, does he fully transform with the kit on? Do we know?
That I'm not saying. It looks like it's only in car mode. It looks like you have to take it off the car
Okay.
mode.
Now, is this part of the plot of the movie where he's going to go from the Beetle to the Camaro? Since this is licensed for the movie, but I haven't seen this version of him in the trailer.
I mean, it's hard to
Stay
say.
tuned.
I mean, Nitro Zeus was supposed to get Cogman. Well, Cogman was supposed to be a headmaster, and they ended up breaking that out. So, I mean, who knows? I think the movie's just going to end with him having to go into like hiding, and he picks the Camaro for him, and then the next time you see him, he's at like Bolivia's motors, all rusty. Like, if I had to guess, that's how it's gonna end.
Do you think they'll dig up Bernie Mac for that that scene to set up?
They dug him up for the one trailer. They have the
That's
Cardinal picture driver.
CGI.
Yeah.
So
Oh God.
give him
Yeah.
the Peter-
If they can
They'll give him the
CGI
Peter
Leia,
Cushing
they can
treatment.
CGI Bernie Mac.
That means he's been on that lot for 30 years.
I mean, his mama was right next door, so that it may well have been.
They'll get the kid from Corey in the house to play the young Bernie Mac.
There, see?
Oh come on! I mean, that's he needs work.
Yeah.
Oh my! Do we have a release date
I don't
on
know.
this T or anything else that we know about it?
No. This is just randomly dug up. Somebody got lucky.
No,
I would imagine
you
it's going to
are
come
our
out.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
tell
you're
us
the
about
inside source.
I would imagine
just-
it's no price, no release date, but I would imagine that this would probably be like Voyager class price. If it's more than Voyager class price, I'm not getting it. And I would imagine that it's going to come out around the same time as the movie.
Yeah.
The first figure was a bad figure. I'm not going to buy a more expensive version of a bad figure.
Yeah. It's like the SDCC version of it. Like, it's cool that it comes with tapes that didn't come out in the US, but still, it's a gold version of a bad figure. And one's enough for me. The Charlie, I mean, the only thing that I guess would sway me is if I like Charlie enough in the movie, like if she's a good enough character that like, yeah, I want a representation of her, and they do something with like, the actual tuning and all, then maybe I would want it, but I doubt any of that's going to happen.
Well, I will say she has not yet annoyed me in the trailers, so far so good.
Yeah.
This
But I guess
figurine looks
it's-
like an anime version of her as well.
Well, I mean, how are you going to do it otherwise? I mean, I don't think that they would do digital paint on a figure that small. And if you look back on the Human Alliance stuff, I'm just glad that it's decently painted, to be honest with you.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that because Bumblebee is really little, so she has to be really, really tiny.
Now, I never got my hands on that original figure, but do you think there's any improvements made? Or is this going to be literally they're taking it from stock and putting it in this package?
If I'm a betting man, I would say the latter.
Yeah, I'm saying that too, especially since they're banking on the fact that it comes apart so easily to be like, hey, look, this is Legos now.
It's got real exploding action.
Yeah.
It does.
But
This was supposed to be a model kit.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I always liked the idea when I was a kid of like, building your own Transformers and customizing it, like making it yours. And I could see if this thing held together better, I could see like some kid like really treasuring their Bumblebee that they put together and made their own, and having like a story of how he got that alt mode and the design and the paint and everything,
So to remember, are you in for the model kits coming out?
I do have the Optimus Prime coming because I mean, shit, I love Optimus Primes, and I've been wanting to do a model paint. In fact, I actually ordered some Gunpla snips and a basic paint kit for an RX-78 too. Which, hey, look, that's Optimus colors. Plus I think it's tester silver. So I do anticipate doing that, and I'll share with you guys what I do. I'm also going to do a black wash on it too.
Pia made it look pretty good.
I disagree. I
Well-
disagree. I think Pia is like with the stickers and all. It was like the articulation's there, and it looks like it's a quality kit. But like with the stickers, I was like, ugh, this thing really needs paint to work.
Okay, I mean, I was more listening to the review because I was doing it while driving, listening to his review while driving to work. So,
no, that's fair.
So, but I look forward to that because I want to do the Starscream.
Yeah.
So,
well, Dave, you can paint, so it's like I fully expect you to like. No, I mean like your Mandroid looks amazing, and like touch ups you do on Sabretooth, like you don't sell yourself short. You have some you have workable skills to do. A basic model kit that's got it's got all the details molded in, so you can be conservative or you can go wild with it. That's the thing I kind of like about these model kits is that they scale to your own aesthetics,
and skill level too.
And skill level, yeah. I haven't done it.
I'm getting there.
I don't know if they've made one for my low skill level yet.
Well, they do have like the Bondi kits where like the important parts are pre-painted, like the faces and all. And like a lot of the Star Wars kits too. Like they have like, Luke's face will be painted, and I think the hair, like the head is painted, and the rest of it, it's just like make of it what you will.
Well, and if you've got a really low skill, they're called action figures.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Although I've tried to do some customizing on action figures, and I end up throwing the pieces away because I screw them up.
I think that's probably a good topic for another show. Is what level we've gone ahead with customizing. I mean, for me, the most I do is repro labels on pretty much all of my. I mean, I don't do like the full sets, but I do faction symbols, and I'll do paint touch ups here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Put those on the notes. Put those on the notes.
I'm putting it on the notes.
Will do. See what else we have on here. Let's talk real quick about Make Toys is reissuing Stryker Manus. So if anybody missed out on him, now is a good time, and I highly recommend you pick him up because he is still to this day one of my favorite figures in my collection. He looks good.
I do want him
as well. Oh man, you should pick him up. He's totally worth it.
Yeah,
and not
I highly
only
recommend it.
Not only that, but he will apparently Make Toys reportedly is going to sell the weapons set that came with Stryker Noir. They're going to sell them separately, which makes sense because with Stryker Noir, anybody that's got that figure or seen a review, the weapons set came on the sprues. It came on the molding. And I don't see why did it take them so damn long? Like, that's just money waiting to be plucked. I guess they were waiting for everybody to buy out the Noirs.
And I think it was a $5 difference between the two.
Between the two releases, I mean, it was it was nothing. It was
$5 for a full sprue kit of weapons. Yeah. I can justify that.
Now, what's interesting is there is a KO coming up of Stryker Manus. And that comes with the weapons. It's coming from Legendary Toy. They did that really nicely painted movie Optimus Prime. That's the only other thing I know that they've done.
How much cheaper?
From what I'm hearing, it's going to be $50, so it's $20 cheaper. However, with Make Toys, Make Toys, whatever you're going to call them, I have to go out of my way to support that company. I really do because they put out some good products, and I don't want to see, their bottom dollar hurt.
Stryker Manus is what got me all in on Make Toys, and I'm just like watching like a hawk for every release.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody that's on the fence for that, they just do yourself a favor and go ahead and jump on something. One of them. It's worth it. I mean. His smokestacks turn into his axes.
Yes,
that's all I should have to say. I mean, that's what drew me in. Tell you the truth, when I saw an early review or pictures, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna get one of those.
He doesn't photograph well, but he has such a presence in person. Like I wasn't interested until I saw it in person at TFCon. And when I saw it, and I saw just like how much the windows popped, because he's got like this shiny metallic paint behind the windows, and just how dynamic he could be posed. And again, it's like when you photograph him, it kind of like looks jumbled, but in person, it's like, wow, that looks amazing. It drew my eye right to it. Mm-hmm. And my buddy Lance had bought both. He bought Thunder Erebus, and I was down at the dealer room, and somebody had Striker Noir, and they took it out of the box, and they were messing with it on a table, and I was like, fuck it, I'm buying it. And I just dropped the money right then and there, and then I was like, well, I need the Manus now. And
for the Power Master,
the red on Noir that just seeps through. It just the color scheme. I know it's a typical color scheme for the figure for that character, but they really pull it off well for Noir. It looks great.
One thing I like about him is he can kick high in the air on one leg and touch his toe.
Yeah, I think every time I brought that to the meetup, you were kind of fixated on that.
Yeah, he's got I would say damn near SH Figure Arts articulation, which is on a fully transforming figure, mind you. I mean, he definitely transforms. Now, I will say the transformation is not the easiest. It's not hard. It's just a little finicky, maybe in the arms folding in and some of the tabs going together, but it's totally doable. I mean, it's not hard. It's just you got to take your time and work your way through it. But that's just a nitpick considering the rest of what you're getting for that figure.
Oh, yeah.
I think his only problem is his vehicle mode looks like Cyberverse Optimus Prime.
And they didn't pretend otherwise with that either. I mean, they right off the bat they're showing pictures of a very Cybertronian alt mode.
Yeah.
So that's not he's not meant to be your G1 Prime on the shelf for sure.
That I don't mind. That I don't mind at all.
I think Ryder Despotron has the coolest alt mode of them all, where he's like that steampunk pistol. But I mean, that's kind of like the draw for all of these is it's the robot mode and the articulation and the fact that they can transform. That's kind of just like the icing on the top of an otherwise really good sundae.
This is going to sound weird, but in some ways, that Cybertron Siege sideswipe is kind of how I envisioned the
cross dimensions.
The cross dimension sideswipe in a way.
I mean, he definitely would fit in. To be honest,
that's what I'm saying. That in some ways, that's actually, if you think about it, the Cybertron Siege Optimus Prime, compare that to him.
Yeah,
they're actually very similar in their aesthetics.
And they're showing no signs of slowing down either. I mean, they seem to hit a lull. I think it's been a while since they've had a proper cross dimensions release. But I guess next coming up is their Divine Shooter kit, which is the add-on kit for Thunder Manus.
Yeah.
That's up next. And then after that, I guess it's either their Jetfire or their Galvatron. I'm guessing the Jetfire's next.
Yeah, I think so.
They've shown prototype. Yeah, they've shown gray prototypes of both, and both look like Galvatron and gray prototype. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, he looks kind of busy for my taste, but it's not bad. And I want to wait and see colored shots. But I guess he's really no busier than the rest of them. But it all looks good. And then he definitely transforms into a space penis.
Yeah. Space penis.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that out of your mouth.
They should give him like his name like Freudenstein.
That might actually be his name. I'll have to look.
It might be. Now is Hot Rod there's no prototypes of Hot Rod, right? That's just art that we've seen so far.
Have we even seen art for Hot Rod? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've seen Cross Dimensions Hot Rod pictures floating around, unless they were fake. And I've also seen the black version of the armor kit for your Thunder Erebus, which I hope they release that.
So I heard
yes.
I see Cross Dimensions Hot Rod here as art, but I heard that at TFCon Toronto, they just kind of randomly handed people vouchers for the armor kits for Thunder Erebus.
They did.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
You You get armor. You get armor. Everybody gets armor. Except you.
Yeah. Do you even own this? Well, no, you get armor, but
I think they were kind of sneaky with the reveal. If I was looking at it right, like it was a background in the picture or something. Like they didn't. It wasn't the focus of the slide or the topic, but randomly in the background was this fully powered up Thunder Erebus. With the silver highlights and the black, and it looked cool. I slept on Thunder Erebus. I never got one, and the aftermarket price is kind of crazy right now, so I'm not too worried about it. But
it'll get reissued.
For those that do have it, it's definitely jump on that. Definitely.
Didn't Kuma Style? Didn't he put up some review or some pictures of the black armor kit?
He did. Yeah, he was lucky enough to get one.
This is like the thing that like kind of drives me a little crazy. There's like when they have something like that, what is stopping them from putting it out and actually making a buck?
I think just production. Like when you hear like the behind the scenes stuff for these third party companies, like they don't have their own factories. They're relying on other factories to or renting out factories to produce for them. So I think, for them, it's do we utilize the resources we have to reissue products, or do we utilize the resources we have to, make our new products? You have to satisfy, your customers in one way or another, and you have to figure out like which customer base is more important, the new customers or the existing customers that want the new product, or both, a product that would come out and satisfy newcomers and faithfuls alike.
Yeah,
you can satisfy both of those at the same time with the space penis.
What can't be satisfied with the space penis?
and talk about some market penetration.
Ooh.
And if you have other questions on how production goes, I recommend going through our back catalog where we had a great interview with.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that episode's called
with the representative from Moss Toys.
Yeah.
Speaking of planting seeds.
No, Kira is an only child, I swear.
For now.
Alrighty, let's see. Let's look at some of our topic questions. Is there any particular one you guys want to tackle over another one? Otherwise, I'm going to pick one at random.
Pick it.
I say surprises.
Surprises. All right, let's go to this one because I think it's relevant right now. What are we currently watching, and does it affect our collecting?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Great one.
I'll go ahead and start. So
go ahead. Yeah.
I started watching, like we saw with the Hall, Evangelion, and this happens every time I pick up a new anime. Usually, I start watching it, and once I get like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I realize, wow, I'm really into this. I immediately go to the internet and I'm looking up figures, and I start clicking add to cart.
You black out.
Yeah, and it's, but then again, at the same time, I also will look. I'll be shopping for figures, and I'll see something. I'm like, oh wow, that looks really cool, but I don't know what that is. I'm gonna watch the show now, and then it just kind of keeps that, So I get kind of exposed to new toys, new figures, and new shows by both.
That works.
I'm currently not watching anything. I did just finish watching the what's on Netflix right now as far as Voltron, but that doesn't affect my collecting because, the figures are only but so good, and I haven't seen the actual human figures that many times. It seemed like they unofficially pulled that line and didn't tell anybody.
I've never seen them. I've never seen them in person.
I saw them, but I didn't see like every character they had.
And they looked like crap. I heard that. I mean,
they were decent.
They were really that good. Okay.
They were better than the Ninja Turtles, I think. They look more like the source material.
Yeah.
So I can also talk about it with the Dragon Ball stuff, where I seem to be watching it right alongside of while they're ramping up releases. SH Figure Arts is ramping up Dragon Ball releases. So I started with Dragon Ball Z and I said, I went on Amazon and was like, okay, I'm just going to pick up a Piccolo. And this is about the time that Bandai teased and dropped the pre-order for the $35 Goku, which was a long time coming. If you guys remember, that pre-order was out for since January. So I pre-ordered him, and I picked up a Piccolo, and I thought, I'm going to get these two, and I'm going to get Vegeta, and that'll be my shelf. That'll be it. So I kept watching the show. I thought I'll just get the 3 main characters, and I'm going to be happy. Well, I go progress episode after episode, and Joe and I have known each other a long time, and I get to certain points in the anime, and I text him, and he'll know where I am in the anime because he'll get the text in the middle of the night like, fuck, I got to get a Trunks. And he sends the lols, and I end up buying a Trunks, and then, fuck, I got to get a Vegito, and then on and on and on. And now for you guys that haven't seen, I have an entire shelf in my DTOL full of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Dragon Ball figures with 3 on pre-order. So, fuck my life. That's where that show. He's been bugging me for years to watch it. And then one day in January, I was like, you know what? I'm not watching anything right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And that's what it cost me.
Dang.
There it is.
I'm not watching any like new series at the moment, but I would definitely say going back and rewatching Marvel movies and getting into the MCU more and more has made me want to get Marvel Legends and especially like the film representations, especially now that they're coming out with like the first 10 years stuff, and Fig Art's been kind of doing definitive 1/12 scale figures. Granted, definitive is a loose term because there's missing details, and it's neither here nor there, but I definitely want to have that Marvel shelf now with the an MCU shelf, and getting there.
I can definitely say my buying habits have been suggested from what I watch. I'm looking at my Star Wars Black figures right now, which is almost all Force Awakens, which, I mean, yeah, I bought those when that movie was coming out. That's probably when I bought most of my Star Wars stuff. I look over at my Figure Arts, which is all the Kamen Rider stuff, which, as I was watching each series, I ended up having to want more figures. I was watching Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, and I know I've got 3 robot spirits on my wish list from that show. So I definitely have to be gauged on it. I was talking with TMan in private earlier today about Voltron. I'm head over heels with that Voltron show. In those last episodes, they introduced some awesome things that I would love to get toys of. I don't know if we want to go into spoilers on that just yet.
Oh yeah, I still need to start it.
Can I say something generic?
Say something generic.
I like the character progression in the last few episodes, and how all of them seem like they were leaders, not just Keith or not just what's his name?
They did a great job of bringing Hunk from being just a joke character to having a purpose. You know, of who he was with his personality quirks. Still, like when he was learning about the Galra culture and then using that knowledge to get the other guys going. I loved that episode, to be honest.
And Lance was shouting out orders, and everybody was just listening to him like it was normal.
That's
I
probably
really like that.
Zero. Since Zero said he hasn't gotten into the show, I will say it offers some of the best non-forced character development I have seen in a show.
Yeah, anybody that's on the fence about watching Legendary, Voltron Legendary Defender on Netflix, it's the show producers, the creators of this particular show said that they have been quoted as saying that they wanted to create the Voltron that you remember, but not the Voltron as it was, because obviously we all remember things, fondly. And then I guarantee if you go back and watch an old episode of Voltron right now, it's not the best.
It's like
It's
Thundercats.
painful.
Yeah. So that is a perfect encapsulation of this show. It's everything you wanted the old show to be.
The music, the emotion.
That's it. And it's funny you say music because it's the only thing I find myself wanting. Like the new theme has grown on me, but the old Voltron theme is timeless.
Oh, I agree. Oh,
yeah.
That's probably that's the only close thing it came to like a negative. But I almost think they're doing that on purpose because they'll give it to us. That last episode, they'll give it to us.
Nah, don't tease me. They're not going to do that.
So I have a counter question. Is there any properties right now that you're watching that they don't create merchandise for, or Pops excluded, that you would really like an action figure line or some sort of...
Joe, I know you have an answer to this, Joe. Go ahead.
My Hero Academia, come on.
Figma, I know you're listening. Figart, you're listening to us right now. Get on it. Do it.
That's a neat show. I've caught a few episodes.
I've been reading the comic.
Credit card is standing by. One Punch Man too. They did, what was it? One Figma release? I think it was one Figma release. They did a couple 6-scale 3-0 figures. Then it's nothing. And I know there was a huge gap between the first and the second season, and it's getting ready to come out, I think, in April or so of next year. But that's another one. It's wildly popular. My Hero is wildly popular. It's just that there's no figures.
Yeah, Figma never seems to go all in. They'll release like 2 characters from a line. From a property, and then never release anything else.
Yeah.
Like we have 3 Link figures, but no Ganondorf. Or
one Zelda.
Yeah.
And it's like, when are they going to come out with the Breath of the Wild Link that has like all the accessories?
Or even simple recolors. You would think by now you would have seen a Dark Link. That seems like a no-brainer. People would buy that in an instant. Same thing with Samus. Like, where's the black version, or other versions of Samus?
Technically, Dark Samus is different details.
Yeah. Sure, but it's not. I wouldn't. Okay,
but
go back to Dark Link then.
They could do a Super Metroid version of the Varia. Is the Varia suit? And then do one where they did like the face sculpt inside and made it SAAS from Metroid Fusion, but then they'd have to make a Fusion suit. But then again, it's Figma, so they might make the antagonist from Metroid Fusion, but not the damn Fusion suit.
I think they haven't done Dark Link because Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, I don't think they had a Dark Link, did they? I know A Link Between Worlds does.
Yeah, I thought Twilight Princess did, but it's been a minute.
I was going to say that too. I thought it did, but I don't remember that well.
They had the ones with those weird white eyes and his little fever dream he was having. On Twilight Princess. I don't know if you guys remember that part. Where they had there was a bunch of links running towards each other, and it was all creepy.
There was a Dark Link in Twilight Princess.
I know you're not the biggest fan of Storm Collectibles, but that's Zero. But that's one thing I got to give them credit for.
No, they do. They go all out with that.
All the way.
They go all out with those recolors. They do their player 2 colors, which again, I think there's a market for the Figuart Street Fighters for and then where Violent Ken and Dark and Evil Ryu, like those are no brainers for Figuarts.
You get some companies that you can't physically stop them from putting out recolors or repaints, and other companies like abandon.
Yeah.
Storm has more repaints than Hasbro has repaints of Seekers.
Yeah. You asked for stuff I'm watching that I would like. I'm curious why NECA hasn't done it yet, but I love Mr. Robot, and I would kill for an Elliot and a Mr. Robot set of figures. Anybody watches that show? It's pretty awesome.
I know you're saying NECA, but right now you might want Mego to do it.
Ugh. Ugh. I know there's a market for that because there's a lot of people that grew up with it, in the 70s. But no.
I was looking at those. Those were today. I almost bought the Star Trek set.
Where's the Migo Golden Girls? Come on.
Now those would I would get those, but NECA's doing the Golden Girls,
and they look good.
Yeah, I may, if they're reasonably priced, I may get that set. I'm not.
They look good.
Yeah,
they look good, or they look lifelike.
They are the greatest collection of Gmails money can buy.
I just want the Betty White.
You gotta buy the 4-pack, T.
No.
Maybe you could sell off the other 3, but no one wants Dorothy.
Yeah,
I could put her with the Muppet Babies.
Are you the Dorothy figure, a B. Arthur figure? Anybody who's a true Deadpool fan would be all over those. Because that was like a running gag in the book for so long that he had a big thing for B. Arthur.
There you go. You buy this, he'll buy it from you.
Just saying.
That could make some interesting pictures.
It would.
Oh, no.
I mean, who doesn't have a Deadpool figure or two?
I don't have any Deadpool figures.
We'll see
You
when
don't
they
have
get
any?
released.
No. I've been trying to resist, the urge to jump into that Marvel rabbit hole because I know that'll.
Well, the cool thing is, like, with like
not
both,
Mafex. Get the Mafex.
Yeah, I'd say the Mafex is a good one to get, but like with any of the Marvel Legends ones, for $20, you just get Deadpool. You don't have to worry about a Build-A-Figure piece or anything like that. The original release Deadpool was the one to get. He came with pretty much any accessory you'd need. His sculpt was nylon perfect. Articulation was perfect. That was
two
the one to get.
katanas, missile launcher with a boxing glove.
Yeah,
The modern
boxing
sculpt,
glove
right?
like that.
The modern sculpt, right?
Yeah, a taco. He came with a grenade
Unmasked
launcher.
head.
Yeah. If I had to say, I've had my hands on just a smattering of Marvel Legends. I would say that is a damn near perfect Marvel Legend. That and any of the new Wolverine figures. Those are in my opinion perfect Marvel Legends.
And that's the progression that I see it would go. It would be, okay, I'd get a Deadpool, I'd get a Wolverine. The next thing you know, I'm buying Iron Man, and I'm getting every single Iron Man armor that ever's been seen.
You never have enough Iron Man.
And then I'm selling my house.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, turn around. You see where you got that Goku box behind you?
Yeah.
On the lonely on the shelf. That is a perfect spot to start your Hall of Armor.
Oh, don't say things like that.
You could line them up. It would look really nice lit up.
I know. I've got real estate here.
Did I mention I got a friend who makes halls of armor?
Plug.
Commerce.
John Walker Customs. He's my boy. He does not pay me. I swear. I just really like his stuff.
Other customizers are available.
I got hooked onto Marvel Legends because I got the Winter Soldier, Captain America, and he was so awesome and perfect. Then I got the Amazing Spider-Man, and I thought he was perfect. And I got all the way in and was buying every wave so I can get the best figures. But after a while, I was like, you know what? A lot of these figures I'm not liking. So this year, I missed out on so many Build-A-Figures that it's crazy. I only completed 2 this year. Sasquatch and Okoye.
I got every damn one of them.
Yeah, you've been getting the whole case.
Why do you say that more like an addict than a collector? I'm just there's a bit of a tone there.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a fine line between the two.
Okay, I say it like that, but honestly, no. I have, for domestic figures, this last year of Marvel Legends has been such an improvement over the last 2 years. I mean, they have just been such good quality.
I would like at the end of the year to kind of like tally up how many regular retail releases they've had, though.
And
it's been Hasbro's most consistent line.
Well, yeah, because like Marvel is like big right now. I would say Marvel merchandise is probably bigger than Star Wars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Absolutely. So,
I'm a Star Wars fanboy at heart. Like, that's my number one property, and I can tell you, you're absolutely right. I couldn't believe it would be any different than that.
Star Wars hasn't been jumping off the shelf lately.
Well, I think the thing is that the Marvel stuff captivates everybody. Like my aunt, who's a big stick in the mud, she goes to every Marvel movie, and even she has little pieces of merchandise here and there. Like she's got like something or other with Black Widow on it, and it just kind of speaks volumes. Like the thing about Star Wars is the merchandise. It appealed to everybody, and that's kind of where Marvel is right now. It's not just the Marvel Legends, but the Marvel Legends are hot because you can without even knowing who a kid is, you can make the assumption that this kid's gonna like Iron Man or Captain America or Thor. Even when Black Panther, even when you get to like little girls, it's like you got Gamora, you've got Black Widow, you've got Scarlet Witch. You can really reach out to people. It's a good icebreaker for anybody, and it's just kind of amazing how how much merchandise there is, and Hasbro having quality merchandise. When you walk down a toy aisle and you see the Marvel Legends on the shelf, they pop, and when they're recognizable characters and they look cool in the box, I mean, how could you resist?
Oh, those Venom boxes look gorgeous now too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they stand out more than anything.
And the side art is in color.
But
except for this guy, he's not.
Then you look at the Star Wars stuff is absolutely plain, and then Transformers, it's like, where are they?
Yes,
we were talking about
the thing. Not to cut you off, but did you see like the picture that somebody posted of like an Ollie's where they have like the stock? It's the wave that never came to stores. It's Misfire, Top Spin, or Twin Twist.
I'm stalking my freaking Ollies, and all that's there is the second wave of Titans.
Yeah,
Ollies. I never saw Overlord. I never saw them, and I'm gonna laugh my tail off if we joke about seeing when the Trypticons drop down there. I'm gonna walk there and see like MP10 for like $30. That's where they all went.
Can you get me one?
I might buy another one.
I'm just saying, like I'm speculating right now, but like watch it be something like that. That's where we find where all the MPs went.
Please let Ironhide be their movie masterpiece. Ironhide, that would be awesome. Barricade, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If I saw Barricade at an Ollie's, that one would probably be the one I would get. But
my Barricade has the only at Toys R Us sticker on it, and he never showed up at Toys R Us.
Here's the things I'm hoping for. I got my hands on the Stinger Ant-Man 2-pack, but I'm hoping to see that there. I'm hoping to see maybe a couple more Hydra packs there. Maybe the 3-pack with Rocket, Groot, and Thor.
Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah, that's Scarlet Witch 2-pack with Vision.
Yeah. I saw that at Toys R Us. That was like one of the last things that they
Same. I got that, and I still kept that box because it's like one of the last only at Toys R Us stickers.
Mm-hmm. If I see Barricade now, I'm starting to get antsy about that. I want to see that. I might faint in Ollie's and still wind up not getting it.
I
want that Overlord. Still want Overlord.
I'm shocked you haven't seen him.
I'm not, because I haven't.
There when you found him, T.
I didn't hear you.
I said, how many did you stumble upon? I know when you found them. Was it like a chunk of them, or?
It was like 12, maybe.
Jeez. Let me know. I'll pay the shipping on that loose.
Did one of them call out for Dave? One of them, when you were walking away from the aisle, was like, "No."
I thought I asked him when I did find him. I thought I can't remember.
Nope.
Oh, my bad.
T, pick it up for me.
Dave, I might make a trek up to Ollie's just because Misfire is the only Titans Return figure I need. And
I need that whole wave, pretty much. Misfire, Windblade, Twist, yeah, all of them. Slugslinger.
Yeah. Slugslinger was good. He was plentiful when I at my local Walmart for a while.
I actually overpaid for him from TFCon DC. I bought him there. Sludge Slinger.
Yeah.
I think I paid an extra $6 or $7 for him.
Oh no!
But that's one of those times where you pay to be done with it, you know.
You know, it's funny. I ended up not paying any extra for Twin Twist because I recognized Paik. I've had a conversation with him at the Toy Dojo booth, and he sold me a Twin Twist at, like, retail. And he held it for me.
That's cool.
Super awesome, dude. Paik for life.
He is. I love his live streams.
Yeah, he's like so thorough, and you know, he kind of anything you ask him in the chat, he'll show you with the toy. I love that.
Cool.
So, let's see, where are we at? 10:30. You guys want to go to another topic, quick one, or do you want to wrap up? What do you think?
Quick one.
So we're talking about buying new figures from Ollie's or the stores or whatever. And I'm interested, when you guys buy new figures, is it something where you have to come right home and rip that sumbitch open and get to work on it, or are you guys happy with letting it sit somewhere in a dark corner of your office or your room until later? Do you guys open it right away, or do you just kind of let it sit till you can really devote some time to it?
Let me ask you this: have you ever anybody here a subscriber to Lamar Wilson?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, subscribe to Lamar Wilson. Awesome dude. The way he opens up pop vinyls, that's how I am. Like, I'm just. I'm kind to my packaging, but you know, I want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. I want to make sure there's no defects, and I'm super excited to check it out. You know, make sure it's a good quality product, and you know, with my luck with figures, I especially want to make sure there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Well, for me, when I got Overlord from Ollie's, I opened him the same night, but Croc and Quake are still sitting under my desk, just sitting there, waiting for me to review them. I'm not going to open them until I'm reviewing them. But they're just repaints anyway. So.
I used to hold off. I seriously used to hold off because, again, when I used to do the photo blog and such, and trying to review type of thing, I'd be like, all right, I'll open it, review it, and then, you know. And that's why I still have a box behind me that's got figures from like 6 years ago still in it because I never got around to them. So nowadays, that's usually what, if I can get home as soon as I get some quiet time after Kira goes to bed and the missus is watching television and stuff, then I'll start messing around with it. Maybe take some pictures of myself, send them to TMan, and then if I ever get a good night, then I'll start getting the Instagram things up on the Instagram. You
know what I want is I want you to go through that box of like 6-year-old figures and like show me what you got
tonight, or just in random?
No, not tonight, but just like in general. I'd like to see Dave's time capsule here.
Oh god, there's some figure arts in there, mostly Common Rider stuff. Some that have gone up in value, some that have gone down, but I mean, it took me 2 years to open up the Blue Ranger figure art.
Starscreamer is a good dad because typically I do open up everything. Now those, because they're repaints, I just left them in a package. But he wanted everybody to sleep. When my kids were younger, I used to just open it and they'd get ignored. Like Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin.
I kind of let life kind of dictates how much time I've got. So there are times where I'll bring something home. A lot of stuff I have shipped to my work, and I'll bring them home, and I'll try to get straight upstairs, open it up, take some pictures, play with it. But a lot of times, it just depends on what we have going on, how tired I am, and whatnot. I'll let them sit for maybe 2 or 3 days, but usually not too long. My Roshi's been here for, I think I got it Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, and I just now opened them tonight. So it just kind of depends on what's going on, and if it's a really, one I'm really excited for, then yeah, I have to open it right away. I can't let it wait.
Fair enough, definitely. And that was me with this guy.
It's usually dependent too, at least for me, on how much you get at once. I normally don't get a whole lot in at one time in the mail. Or like last week, for instance, I was heavy on the stuff that I got in, so stuff just had to sit by the wayside. But normally when I ship piles of loot or whatever from Big Bad or get Amazon orders, it's usually only one or two things, and Amazon especially, it's usually like a household item, and then something cool for me because I'm a kid. And then that's easy. Like I'll break that thing open and sit it on the table in the kitchen and just mess with it during the course of the day. Whereas like last week was a crap ton of stuff for me anyway, where a lot of it just had to go to the basement and sit. And if they sit long enough, they'll eventually migrate somewhere into my collection on display, and I won't mess with it for weeks, if not months. Like, unfortunately, poor Samus from Figma Samus up there, I've only actually touched her like 3 or 4 times to change her pose. I haven't done a whole lot messing with her. I feel bad. I need to spend some time with her. She's looking at me. I feel the guilt building up. I'm going to have to.
What's going on with the rest of your night, Matt?
See?
Cue the sappy music.
So, yeah, 1 or 2 things at a time. I'll crack those bitches open right away. But then
Whoa, hey now.
Little foreplay, man.
Being kind to the packaging.
No, does the amount of effort it has to play a factor into it? Like the stuff that I get that comes in a box where all you have to do is cut the tape, slide it out of styrofoam or something, and then you can just instantly have the toy. I open that right up. But like I'm saying, those 2 deluxe figures, I know I have to cut around the bubble. Then I have to cut each and every one of those plastic ties. And that's like, ugh, I don't even feel like doing that. I'm lazy.
Man, you know what I do to get those open is I use a pair of nail clippers.
Yes.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes.
Because they're curved, that won't damage the toy,
It is interesting though, like why some manufacturers will do that and others don't. Like Roshi literally just falls right as soon as you take the top plastic piece off. Like Figuarts, they even stopped, or Tamashi, they stopped putting the little pieces of plastic in the joints. Most of them they stopped. Yeah, like he didn't have any plastic in them at all. He pulled them out, ready to go.
Oh god, the Rangers and the Marvel stuff. The Marvel stuff's like you got to pull the diaphragm apart to get all the plastic out.
Really?
Revoltechs are insane on that. They have them all between all the joints.
Well, that Nendoroid Mega Man X, holy crap, Zero's Mega Man X, it had plastic everywhere. It was like 20 minutes before I could actually play with it.
And when they do use the little twisty ties, they don't just use 1 or 2. It's like every single limb has to have 1 at the wrist, 1 at the elbows. There's like 12 ties.
If you collected during the Beast Machines era, or even like the Transmetal era for Beast Wars, good God, that's when they had like the thick twisty ties that you couldn't even cut with nail clippers.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys actually buy Armada Unicron during the Armada days?
Yes. Yeah, I've got one.
I still remember trying to open that damn thing.
Oh, have you opened dolls, your daughter's dolls? Holy crap. The hair, they have all those ties in the hair. That's annoying. They're like literally attached to the back of the box. That used to be a nightmare on Christmas.
You tried to save that by throwing in your daughter's dolls, right there.
Yeah, we've seen your toy hunts.
I only have 2.
with your Wonder Woman.
Well, they're action
more,
figures.
You have 2 more than I do.
Action figures with combable hair.
Did you get the life-size Gal Gadot?
That's called a real doll.
Yeah.
Them Fikins or whatever they're called.
And ironically, the female figures of those still have single jointed elbows.
Has anyone ever looked and checked a female, like a human, real life female? Maybe they only do have single jointed elbows, and really the companies are getting it right. That's just a theory. I'm just throwing it out there.
I think they are right.
With your significant others, have them bend their arm and see.
I'll do that. I'll do that tomorrow.
There you go. Say, honey, are you single jointed? Because that would make a whole lot of sense.
Well, maybe they should make the figure. If they made the figure squishy, they can actually bend more than the hard plastic ones.
I'm just more curious about the butterfly joints. So just walk up to your girl and say, "Hey, can you touch your elbows behind your back?" Next week, I will not be able to make it because my jaw will be wired shut.
Well, they should make it like Figma. Figma has those weird ball, and Revoltech. What they'll just be one joint, but it has way more than 90 degrees of bend.
Yeah, like Figwart's here.
Well, actually, the Marvel Psylocke, she's got those new joints that go more than 90 degrees.
Was it Songbird that had the double jointed elbows, or was it Proxima Midnight?
Proxima Midnight.
Yeah. Of course, Proxima was built pretty. She was a lot bigger than your normal female figure.
Proxima is what a She-Hulk figure should be. Plain and simple.
They could use that body as a She-Hulk. They should. Like, there hasn't been a good She-Hulk figure.
It should be easy. They'll just have to smooth out the textures and whatnot.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool for an Avengers movie. Break out the She-Hulk versus Proxima. Oh, wait. They can't.
They can.
Dead.
They'll come up with a reason.
Seriously, like, all the Black Order went out like punks, man. Just observation. They all went out like punks.
That reminds me, there was news right before we started the podcast that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been shelved right now, or has been put on hold.
Yeah, what is it due to Dave Bautista saying that he wouldn't come back? Well,
the report that I read just briefly before we started broadcasting was not specific as to why, but they're just saying in light of the James Gunn situation, they are putting on hold the production of Guardians 3.
Man, they really screwed that up.
And this could be their first major misstep besides what's his name from Iron Man 3, the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Wait. Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World are two that I never bothered to see.
Thor: The Dark World, at least, like, there's some redeeming qualities to it, but
I don't mind that one. I don't mind that
it's
one.
watchable.
I like that better. I think I like that better than the first Thor, but it's been so long since I've seen him. I don't know. I can't.
I do not understand how Iron Man 3 made the whatever $100 billion that it made.
Because the first two Iron Man movies were fun, and people were expecting more of the same.
They must have. I don't know. I think it had legs though, didn't it?
Had what?
I'm not sure.
It didn't just have a big, huge opening. It actually throughout the weeks of release, it was carried.
It was the Chinese market because they casted some noteworthy actors and actresses in that for the whole because Li Bingbing is a huge Chinese actress and there's a lot of hype. Or no, was that Age of Ultron? I know there was.
Age of Ultron didn't have.
Yeah, it had. Yeah.
The whole Chinese market dynamic, man. That's I could just tangent on that of the.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason why Transformers 2. Yeah, Transformers 2. The only reason the opening scene was in Hong Kong was strictly for the Chinese market.
Yeah. No, there was an extra scene in the Chinese version. Yeah, it was big in China.
Iron Man 3, I only watched that one time and never again.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was in that movie and half of the things that happened.
Yeah.
I'll throw out that question real quick then, just cause. What's your guys' favorite MCU movie? Anybody?
Right now, Infinity War, because I've watched that like 3 times, and I don't typically watch movies multiple times anymore. but I watched that a bunch of times.
I was gonna say Infinity War, except Infinity War is so hard to do as a standalone movie. Like you can't like bring somebody in and say, "Here's Infinity War," and they'll totally get that. So I would probably say either the first Avengers movie or Ragnarok, because they both played my emotions just perfectly.
Yeah, Ragnarok I think was the most fun for me. The first Iron Man though really is kind of stands out because it was kind of like the first comic book genre movie that came out, and it was that different tone, and it was fun, and it was kind of before everything got a little crazy. I've actually watched that probably half a dozen times. I really enjoy that one, but Ragnarok is probably the most fun.
I think I've watched Guardians the most, and I find myself enjoying Guardians a lot because it's a movie it's like once it's on, I can't turn it off, and it's kind of over in the blink of an eye. And I really enjoy Guardians too, but I think Guardians 1 is still my favorite. I like Ragnarok and Infinity War, but the point about Infinity War being not a great standalone movie is very valid, but at the same time, knowing everything that happens, to build up to Infinity War. I've watched Infinity War about 6 times now, and it never feels like long or like it's dragging its feet. It's just, it's very very fluid. And I watched Civil War not long ago.
Okay, Civil War is another, yeah.
I watched that because I needed to get Alexa caught up before seeing Infinity War. And I was just like, yeah, this movie it has such a good flow. A couple of the Zemo scenes kind of drag. But other than that, it's a massively entertaining movie.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier's a good one too.
Yeah, Guardians would be my answer. The first Guardians.
Did you guys see that they're actually doing a 30+ hour IMAX marathon of all the MCU movies?
Yeah.
I think AMC's doing it.
That's too hardcore for me.
I don't know.
Too hardcore for me.
I don't know how that works though. If you pay one lump sum and you just kind of come and go, I'm not sure.
Or you stay in there and there's a whole bunch of stinky people in there.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I hope they're issuing out deodorant.
If I'm gonna do that, man, I'll just get the marathon, buy the DVDs.
Well, I mean, how many of us are going to go see Transformers the movie in the theater?
Me.
Me.
We were trying.
If I get the day off, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll schedule for that day and the next day off.
I think that there's just something about, going and seeing a movie in the theater. Like, I haven't missed a Marvel movie in the theaters yet, but, if I think the cool thing about this is you don't have to go and see all of them. So if you're new to being a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or your kids were too young, or your significant other never got a chance to see him in the theater and you want to share the experience, I think it's a really great thing to have these movies back in the theater. Some people are insane enough to go and marathon them all, but
I remember when people do that for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they definitely do, and for Star Wars, now it's kind of getting a little nuts with Star Wars. But before, where it was just the 6 movies, and originally when it was just the 3, it was a much more doable experience. But yeah, I mean, for some people, I can see this being like a neat experience to say you did it, or to share the experience, or just to see a couple of them in the theater again. To be honest, I would love to see the first Iron Man, on the big screen again, and maybe see like Avengers and Civil War and Winter Soldier. Again, in the big screen.
I think a couple of these movies were never in IMAX, so that would be kind of cool to go back and see them in IMAX.
Huh. You just mentioned the Star Wars marathon. I think it'd be kind of interesting seeing, the prequels, then Rogue One, and then A New Hope.
Yeah.
I'd be down
to get that. Just to kind of catch that, to really get the full emotional impact of that bridge. You know,
What is the proper way to watch those films? Just for someone who's never seen Star Wars.
I would say in the personally, my belief is in the order they were released.
I'm kind of leaning.
I am with you on that. Yeah.
I agree with that too, because then if you never saw it, then the big reveal will be a secret.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you ever read the Chronicles of Narnia way back when you were a kid. The books were not written in the actual time order of. So it's kind of the same thing. You read the books as the story is revealed to you, and then you get the so that means type of moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I had to split them up, I would probably say episode 1, episode 2, episode 4, episode 5, episode 3. But actually, if we're gonna count, are we gonna count Star Wars stories here?
I
Sure.
would.
Okay.
Well,
so
except for Solo.
I liked Solo though.
I like Solo a lot.
I just don't know how much it really ties into
I'm not sure about
the rest of it, you know?
It does. It's because it like, even though I don't think that the casting choice for Han was the best, I still think that there is significance into establishing his character and who he was, and it certainly added a lot to Lando and Chewie as well. I really enjoyed that dynamic. It's been out long enough. I thought the Darth Maul reveal was corny as hell, especially when he ignited his lightsaber. That was so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you though,
Now we won't get a follow-up about that.
Yeah,
I wasn't caught up on I knew some of the backstory there. I knew he was still around, but that totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And I kind of gave them props for having the balls to circle around and double down on the prequels like that and bringing that character back to the forefront. I thought that was cool. Like, I don't know. I am not the biggest fan of the prequels, but I was okay with that.
Yeah. So if I were to count the Star Wars stories, I would say episode 1, episode 2, Rogue One, episode 4, episode 5, episode 3, episode 6, Solo, Force Awakens, Last Jedi.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to argue with that.
That's a crazy order, I think.
Well, it's kind of a crazy order, but if you think about it, like you get time with Anakin Skywalker, and then you cut to like the original trilogy timeline, and then you see like what's leading up to the Galactic Civil War and the plans of destroying the Death Star, which establishes precedent for what's going on, the motivation behind what Luke's doing and Obi-Wan's doing in New Hope. Episode 5, you get more time with Luke, and then you learn, Anakin Skywalker was his father. Episode 3, you see how everything went down. Then in Return of the Jedi, you see how it concludes. Solo gives you time with Han Solo, and technically, I think that Force Awakens is a Han Solo movie as well.
Agreed.
And that ties into it pretty well. And then you establish Rey, and then Rey's story continues.
So you're using Revenge of the Sith as almost like a giant interlude flashback in the middle of the original trilogy.
Bingo.
Okay.
You're preserving the reveal. So
Yes.
And you're using Solo to make his death that much rougher.
Well, but I think it's meaningful to the character.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, but you're watching Solo of his birth and then his death.
Yeah, but it's the character's solo movie, and then his swan song right there. At that point, you've got a span of 5 movies that is focused on Han Solo as a character. The other thing too is so here's the deal. It's like, Han Solo gets revived from the carbonite freezing in Return of the Jedi, and then you have that buffer, right? So you get a movie that's about him and celebrates his life, before going to, Force Awakens where he's killed.
Mm.
I almost would reverse that for that exact reason, though. You watch him die, and then that's why we celebrate where he came from.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the flow of Rey's story is more important.
Just say it. Just say it.
You're right, but I think that if I was going to watch Solo, I would rather watch Solo, Force Awakens, and Last Jedi than watch Force Awakens, Solo, Last Jedi, because then you're like, oh, where are we now?
I want to know how they can get a Chewbacca movie. How can they do that?
He had a Christmas special.
He did.
Yeah, that's good.
And they could talk.
Oh,
There were some
God.
Chewbacca moments in Solo that I was like, I could actually watch a Chewbacca origin story if there was a way that they could convey the dialogue without being cheesy.
You mean without being chewy?
There you go.
Good night, everybody.
Fun
Subtitles.
fun fact about the Christmas story, or the Christmas special. Has anybody
Holiday
actually
special.
the holiday special. Has anybody here actually sat down and watched the damn thing from start
For
to
the
finish?
past four Christmases, my friend, if you've ever seen footage from the meetups, my buddy Thor, he insists on playing it at his Christmas parties. And we have the version with the Baltimore area commercials.
I've
only seen clips.
I try to go through it. And just...
Okay, friend.
And Lutwack, your girl B. Arthur is in it.
That is true.
Yeah.
I like that she has just instantly become his girl. I think that's the thing now.
It has to be.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up. What do you guys think?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything intelligent and poignant to add to the conversation? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But no, I think that'll wrap up this episode of Figure Action. So I hope you all had a good time. We also want to shout out Gort. Happy belated birthday to that dude.
Happy birthday, Gort.
Happy birthday,
He's a big
buddy.
supporter
Happy
of the
birthday.
show.
Happy birthday.
And, also, since he's in the chat, I want to shout out, and even if he wasn't in the chat, shout out a belated birthday to Alex. It was his birthday. And,
Real good, dude.
yep. So, everybody, let's do the shout outs. Where can we find you at, Mr. True Star Screamer?
You can find me on Instagram, of course, at True Star Screamer with the TRU. PlayStation Network, True Star Screamer, and on the Facebooks at David Lutwack, my actual name.
Very good. How about you, Mr. Zero?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at the Original Zero. You can find me on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, Extra Zero. On Xbox, there's a space between Extra and Zero. You can find me on the Facebooks with the alias, James Jordan. And, of course, you can find me here every Friday night.
Mr. Joe Crab?
You can find me on Instagram under Joe Figure 83, and you can find me on Facebook under my real name, Joe Crab, with 2 B's.
Mr. TMan?
You can find me on YouTube, please, and Instagram and Facebook. I'm in every toy group ever on Facebook. Somebody
This is true.
So
How we got in the pony group, though, I'll never know.
Yeah.
yeah,
He knows.
I
He
still
knows.
But at TMan978, and you'll find me.
All right. And my name is Matt Partsformer. You can find me as Partsformer on Instagram, Twitter, Xbox Live, and I frequently guest star on TMan 978's Toy Hunts. That's his fault, really. He takes the footage and he uses it. So if you don't like it, blame him. But I think that's all we have for you guys this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys come back for the next episode. Hopefully we'll have on the channel at some point this week some footage from Tokyo from Adrian, if he's able to do that for us.
Because we're international.
We are international. you know, he does that for us. He's that go-getter. He moved to Australia just so we could call ourselves international. It was a big personal sacrifice. He uprooted his family.
He's phoning in that accent too.
Yeah.
He is. It's total bullshit, but he tries, and we love him for it. So thank you to that, Adrian, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same channel. See you guys.
See ya.
See you.
Have a good one.
Bye.